Hello and welcome to Quest Recapped. Today, we will be going through the 2008 martial arts comedy film, Kung Fu Panda. The film opens in China, where a panda named Po enters a tavern and is instantly attacked by local thugs. However, he battles ferociously and defeats all of them, displaying his great combat skills. And after this incident, even the renowned Kung Fu masters known as the Furious Five bow to the panda's skill. But moments later, Po wakes up from this dream due to the sound of his father's voice. In reality, he is the son of a goose named Mr. Ping and works in the family noodle store. Before heading downstairs, Po admires his Furious Five action figures. Furious Five includes legendary warriors such as Tigress, Monkey, Mantis, Viper, and Crane who Po has admired since he was a kid. Despite being clumsy and chubby, Po is a kung fu enthusiast who has a burning desire to train to become a kung fu warrior. However, he is hesitant to share his ambitions with his father, who is more concerned with running his restaurant and promoting his renowned secret ingredient soup. Elsewhere, we see Master Shifu, or Red Panda, who lives in the Jade Palace and is the mentor of Furious Five. Later, Grandmaster Oogway informs him that the snow leopard warrior Tai Lung will escape jail and return to the Valley of Peace to wreak havoc once more. Shifu then quickly dispatches a royal goose named Xing to fly to Chagam prison to double everything to prevent Oogway's vision from becoming a reality. Master Oogway then informs Shifu that it is time to select the legendary dragon warrior, one deserving of the power of the Dragon Scroll, which is supposed to unleash tremendous power on anyone who reads it. Assuming that one of the Furious Five will be chosen, Shifu prepares a competition to determine which one will qualify. After that, flyers for the tournament are distributed across town, and residents are flocking to the temple. Po is excited about the possibility to watch his idols in real time. But he is persuaded by his father to take a noodle cart up the massive stairway to the Jade Palace arena. He soon leaves the cart and climbs the steps by himself, which drains him. He is the last to arrive at the gates and discovers that they have barred him entry. Po tries numerous ways to gain entry to the tournament, all of which fail. In a final attempt, Po attaches fireworks to his cart and launches himself into the air, only to crash down in the arena, just when Oogway is about to choose one of the five. Po opens his eyes to see Oogway's finger pointing directly at him, and he, like everyone else, is taken aback. Oogway implies that the dragon warrior is the panda who had fallen before him. Shifu then tries to persuade Master Oogway that a flabby panda cannot possibly be a real dragon warrior and that this is a mistake, but Oogway is firm in his decision. Back to Tai Lung's situation, Xing arrives at the prison to observe the detention. He warns everyone to be more cautious because Master Shifu has scolded them, and when they come to check on Tai Lung, he is handcuffed. Now, he does not appear to be leaving, but he is planning to. In the next scene, Shifu confronts Po and humiliates him because he does not believe Po will be able to defeat Tai Lung. He lowers Po's enthusiasm by seizing his finger in what Po identifies as the Wuxi finger hold, a reputedly powerful grip. Then, Shifu tries to force Po to quit by exposing him to the atrocities of the training hall and a tough series of battles with the Furious Five. That evening, Po overhears the Furious Five mocking his incompetence. Tigress then humiliates him, calling him a disgrace to Kung Fu. This deeply upsets Po, and he goes to an isolated spot, stuffing his mouth with peaches gathered from the Tree of Heavenly Wisdom. Moments later, Master Oogway arrives, and sensing Po's distress, he informs the panda that he worries too much about what was or could be. And instead of doubting himself, he should concentrate on the present. Meanwhile, Tai Lung frees himself by picking the lock on the acupuncture restraint. After fighting and killing the prison guards, he grabs Xing and orders him to inform Shifu that the true dragon warrior is on his way home. He then continues his journey back to the Valley of Peace, eager to obtain the Dragon Scroll for himself. The next morning, Po awakens with a renewed feeling of purpose and eagerness to learn from the Furious Five and Shifu. He fights with each of the Furious Five, and despite his unwavering enthusiasm, he gets badly hurt. Later, during an acupuncture treatment with Mantis, the five confess that Shifu was not always as strict as he is now. Tigress explains that Shifu's personality change was caused by Tai Lung himself. So, after finding Tai Lung at a temple, Shifu raised him as his own. When Tai Lung began showing natural talents, Shifu trained him further in Kung Fu. But when it came time to present Tai Lung to Oogway, the Great Master detected darkness in him and denied him the honor to get the Dragon Scroll. Enraged by this, Tai Lung went on a rampage across the town, trying to forcefully seize the scroll. Shifu was unable to destroy Tai Lung because he cared for him too much, and Oogway eventually defeated him by blocking his chi. Meanwhile, Shifu is terrified after discovering that Tai Lung has escaped from the prison to get the Dragon Scroll, so he meets Master Oogway. He also claims that he does not believe Po can defeat Tai Lung and they must choose another dragon warrior. Master Oogway then advises Shifu to give up the illusion of control and to trust that he can teach Po. So, before he does anything, he must be confident first. He then hands Shifu his wooden staff and states that his time has come. Then, he walks near the cliff's edge and dissolves in a swirl of peach flowers. After that, Shifu arrives at the temple, depressed, to inform the group about Oogway's death and how Po is their final hope to fight Tai Lung. Upon hearing this, Po gets scared and tries to flee the palace. But Shifu refuses to let him go, urging him that they need to follow Oogway's advice. However, Po has lost all faith at this point, and Shifu is at a loss for a solution as well. Upon witnessing this situation, Tigress decides to take matters into her own hands and leads the Furious Five in an attempt to put an end to Tai Lung. The next morning, Shifu observes that when Po is motivated by food, he exhibits exceptional and impressive speed. So, Shifu takes him to a spot where Master Oogway originally learned Kung Fu. They finally accept one another as a student and teacher. For their lesson, Shifu brings dumplings, but he does not let Po eat them. Po is continuously hungry when fighting and learning, but Shifu forces him to fight for food. After some training, Shifu allows Po to eat dumplings freely, but it appears that the two of them again start to fight. Finally, Po catches the last dumpling, but he claims he is not hungry. Meanwhile, the Furious Five arrive at a large bridge crossing a misty canyon, where they face Tai Lung and get into a fight. Though the five appear to be winning at first, Tai Lung eventually destroys them with nerve attacks. Crane is able to fly back to the Jade Palace with the rest of the five, who are paralyzed. Now, Shifu revitalizes them, but Po is discouraged by the idea that not even the five masters could not defeat Tai Lung. Shifu, on the other hand, tells him that he will have something no one else has, which is the Dragon Scroll. Feeling that Po is ready to beat Tai Lung, Shifu gives him the Dragon Scroll. But to their surprise, the scrolls turn out to be nothing more than a blank, golden reflective surface. Deeply upset by this, Shifu asks the group to flee the village while he remains in the temple to fend off Tai Lung. The group reluctantly agrees to this, and during the evacuation, Po finds his father, who is busy preparing to escape. His father expresses regret for whatever happened and begins brainstorming ideas for a new noodle shop. Po, on the other hand, feels crushed that his ambitions of pursuing his dreams have been destroyed. Mr. Ping tries to console him by revealing that the long-hidden secret ingredient of his famed secret ingredient soup is nothing. He says that to make something special, they have to be confident that they will make it special. Hearing this, Po unfolds the scroll to see his reflection on the glazed surface. He suddenly realizes that this concept relates to himself and his own fate, so he sets out to return to the palace and confront Tai Lung. Meanwhile, Tai Lung arrives at the palace and meets Shifu. He demands the scroll as his birthright and blames Shifu for setting dreams in his head. Tai Lung berates Shifu for failing to stand up to Oogway when he objected. And after fierce combat between the two, Shifu is eventually beaten by Tai Lung. He then apologizes to Tai Lung for not realizing what he had made him into. He admits that he was proud of Tai Lung from the start, but it was his pride that blinded him to what he was becoming. This confession moves Tai Lung for a moment, but he soon declares he doesn't want an apology. He only desires the Dragon Scroll, which he has observed is missing. Enraged, he asks Shifu to tell him its location, and Shifu confesses that Po has already taken the scroll halfway across China. Tai Lung becomes enraged and is about to kill Shifu with his claws, but just then, a tired Po arrives, professing himself to be the Dragon Warrior. When Tai Lung sees him, he is taken aback and laughs at the idea that the enormous, obese panda is the legendary Dragon Warrior. However, when Po pulls out the Dragon Scroll, Tai Lung attacks him quickly. Soon after, the two engage in a battle for possession of the scroll, in which Po unexpectedly displays himself as an equal. However, Tai Lung believes that it is only possible because of the scroll's power. After an extended battle that is prolonged down the palace stairs and into a valley, Tai Lung eventually wins and pummels Po to the ground. He finally looks at the scroll only to be met with confusion, unable to fathom its symbolic meaning. Po then provides an explanation, stating that there is no secret component to the scroll and that it is just your capabilities. However, Tai Lung refuses to accept Po's comments or the fact that everything he has done so far appears to have been for nothing. Tai Lung, now seized with wrath and desperation, attacks Po once more, but this time, with no discipline or genuine purpose behind it. Po also shows deadly counterattacks and eventually captures a weary Tai Lung with the Wuxi finger hold. Tai Lung calls this bluff, knowing that Po may not be aware of this technique. But Po reveals that Shifu did not teach him the technique and he discovered it on his own. Now, he flexes his pinky, unleashing a tremendous surge of raw energy that extends throughout the valley and is felt by the five as they lead the people toward the hills. After finally killing Tai Lung, Po is hailed by the returning villagers. The furious five quickly returns to the village with the residents, where they discover Po, wounded but victorious. Mr. Ping, moved by his son's bravery, proudly reveals to all that the Kung Fu warrior in front of him is his son, and he and Po hug each other. Tigress, who is extremely impressed, leads the Furious Five in accepting Po as a fellow Kung Fu master. Po is humbled and happy by this but remembers Shifu is seriously injured and returns to the palace immediately. Soon after, Po finds Shifu laying still but alive on the temple floor and informs him that he has defeated Tai Lung. Shifu expresses gratitude and tells Po that he has brought him peace and slowly closes his eyes. Now, Po begs Shifu not to die, only for Shifu to shout that he isn't dying, but is simply at peace. And after the two rest for a while, Po breaks the silence by asking Shifu if he wants to grab something to eat, to which Shifu responds positively. In the final scene, Po and Shifu are seen eating dumplings close to a blooming peach tree, and the peach seed Oogway put earlier has blossomed into a small plant. We have come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. If you also have thoughts you intend to share, kindly leave them in the comment section. See you in the next video.